Rizal's Retraction Introduction. This section represents contrasting views on the retraction by biographers of Rizal. The team deemed it proper to represent the views in the exact words of the scholars so as to avoid misinterpretations. Read on and judge for yourself whether Rizal retracted or not. The document of the retraction of the Rizal 2 is being hotly debated as to its authenticity. The original discovered by Father Manuel Garcia, C.M. on May 18, 1935.
At least four texts of Rizal's retraction is fixed. The four texts appeared in El Impartia on the day after Rizal's execution. It is a short formula of the retraction.
The first text was published in La Voz Española and Diario de Manila on the very day of Rizal's execution, December 30, 1896. The second text appeared in Barcelona, Spain on February 14, 1897 in Fortnightly magazine in La Juventud. Came from anonymous writer who revealed himself 14 years later as Father Baliwar. After it disappeared for 39 years from the afternoon of the day when Rizal was shot.
On May 8, 1945, the lost original document of Rizal's retraction was discovered by the Archdiocese archivist, Father Manuel Garcia, C.M. The discovery, instead of ending doubts about Rizal's retraction, has in fact encouraged it because the newly discovered text retraction differs significantly from the text found in the Jesuits and the Archbishop's copies.
And the fact that the text of the retraction which appeared in the Manila newspapers could be shown to be the exact copies of the original but only imitations of it. This means that the friars who control the press in Manila. Example, La Voz Española, they had the original while the Jesuits had only the imitation. We now proceed to show the significant differences between the original and the Manila newspaper's text of the retraction on the one hand and text of the copies of Father Baliguars and Father Pio Pai on the other hand. First, instead of the words "Mi Dad" with you which appeared in the original and the newspaper's text, the Jesuits' copies have "Mi Dad" without you. Second, the Jesuits' copies of the retractions omit the word Católica after the first Iglesias, which are found in the original and the newspaper text. Third, the Jesuits' copies of the retraction add before the third Iglesias the word misma, which is not found in the original and the newspaper text of the retraction. Fourth, with regards to paragraphing, which immediately strikes the eye of the critical reader, Father Baliguar text does not begin the second paragraph until the fifth sentences, while the original and the newspaper's copies start the second paragraph immediately with the second sentences.
Fifth, whereas the text of the retraction in the original in the Manila newspapers have only 4 commas. The text of Father Baliguar's copy has 11 commas. 6. The most important of all, Father Baliguar's copy did not have the names of the witnesses from the text of the newspapers in the Manila.
Father Balaguer dated from Father Pi's short from the previously proved to the Archbishop. In his letter to Father Pi in 1910, Father Balaguer admitted that he dictated the Rizal, a short formula prepared by Father Pi. However, he contradicts himself when he revealed that the exact copy came from the Archbishop. The only copy which Father Balaguer wrote is the one that appeared on his earliest account of Rizal's retraction. Where did Balaguer's exact copy came from?
He said in his letter to Father Pi in 1910, I preserve in my keeping and am sending to you the original text of the 2 formulas of retraction, which you gave me, that from you and that of the Archbishop, and the first with the changes which they made, and the other the exact copy of the retraction written and signed by Rizal. In his own word quoted, Father Baliguar said that he received the 2 original texts of the retraction. The first, which came from Father Pi, contained the changes which you made, the other, which is that the Archbishop, was the exact copy of the retraction written and signed by Rizal. Father Baliguar said that the exact copy written and signed by Rizal, but did he not say written and signed by Rizal and himself? The absence of the reflexive pronoun himself could mean that the other person, the copyist, did not. He only suspected that Rizal himself, much as Father Baliguar did not know nor remember whose handwriting it was. Thus, according to Father Baliguar, the exact copy came from the Archbishop. He called it exact because, not having seen the original himself, he was made to believe that it was the one that faithfully reproduced the original in comparison to that of Father Pi, which changes, that is, were deviated from the exact copy, had been made. Actually, the difference between that of the Archbishop, the exact copy, that of Father Pi with changes, is that the latter was shorter because it omitted certain phrases found in the former, so that, as Father Pi had fervently hoped, Rizal would sign it. According to Father Pi, Rizal rejected the long formula so that Father Baliguar had to dictate from the short formula of Father Pi allegedly. Rizal wrote down what was dictated to him, but he insisted on adding the phrases in which I was born and educated and Masonaris, the enemy that is of the church, the first of which Rizal would have regarded as unnecessary and the second as downright contrary to his spirit. However, what actually would happen if we are to believe the fictitious account was that Rizal's addition of the phrases was the reiteration of the phrases found in the original, which had been omitted in Father Pi's short formula. The exact copy was shown to the military men guarding in Fort Santiago to convince them that Rizal I had retracted. Someone read it aloud in a hearing of Capitan Dominguez, who claimed in his notes that Rizal read aloud his retraction. However, his copy of the retraction proved him wrong because its text with you and omits the word Católica, as in Father Baliguar's copy, but which are not the case in the original. Captain Dominguez never claimed to have seen the retraction, he only heard. The truth is that almost 2 years before his execution, Rizal had written a retraction in the Pitan very early in 1895. Josephine Bracken came to the pit with her adopted father who wanted to be cured of his blindness by Dr. Rizal. Their guide was Manuela Orlac, who was an agent and a mistress of a friar. Rizal fell in love with Josephine and wanted to marry her canonically, but he was required to sign a profession of faith and to write retraction, which had to be approved by the Bishop of Cebu. Spanish law had established civil marriage in the Philippines. Professor Craig wrote, but the local government had not provided any way for people to avail themselves of the right. In order to marry Josephine, Rizal wrote with the help of a priest a form of retraction to be approved by the Bishop of Cebu. This incident was revealed by Father Antonio Aubach to his friend Professor Austin Craig, who wrote down in 1912 what the priest had told him. The document, the retraction, enclosed with the priest's letter, was ready for the mail when Rizal came hurrying I to reclaim it. Rizal realized, perhaps rather late, that he had written and given to a priest what the friars had been trying by all means to get from him. Neither the Archbishop nor Father Pai saw the original document of retraction. What they saw a copy done by one who could imitate Rizal's handwriting, while the original, almost eaten by the termites, was kept by some friars. But the Archbishop and Father Pai acted innocently, because they did not distinguish between the genuine and the imitation of Rizal's handwriting. Since we already heard and read about the controversy of Dr. Rizal's retraction, do you think he really did the retraction? Though he retracted or not, he's one of the Filipinos who did not diminish his stature to a great patriot to our country. Thank you for watching ang Lonely Philippines. Mabuhay si Dr. Jose Rizal.
Lahat ng bagay na isinulat ko ay nakaugat sa katotohanan. Sa mga bagay na naisulat ko ay matatagpuan ng mga Pilipino ang kanilang mga sarili. Ang kanilang kasaysayan sa lumipas na 10 taon. Ilang taon ka na ba rito sa Pilipinas, Tapir? Bakit? Pareho ba tayo ng nakikita? O meron kang ayaw makita?